Hello and welcome to What Culture Horror with myself, Andrew Pollard. I hope you're good, I hope you're well, and I hope your week is going as well as possible. Now, today we are back with another horror movie review. Yes, following in the footsteps of our other recent reviews, that would be the excellent Good Boy, the goodest of boys, the frustrating Strangest Chapter 2, so daft, man. And I believe we'll also have a review of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein up by the time you are seeing this, or videos you can find elsewhere on the channel. But today is the time for Strange Harvest to take center stage, a faux documentary of sorts exploring the twisted acts of Mr. Shiny, that is a serial killer from the past who has ominously reared his head once more in the present day. Or in 2010, more specifically. Now, Strange Harvest is available on digital download in the UK on October 27th, and Australia on October 29th, meaning this one is extremely timely for Halloween, and I believe it may already be out in the US too as well. Now, of course, the biggest question is, should you add this to your Halloween watch list, or is Strange Harvest worth swerving this spooky season? Let us find out. Now, where to start with this one? Well, I guess it's from writer-director Stuart Ortiz, who you may recognise as one half of the Vicious Brothers before. They're the guys behind the Grave Encounters movies. They wrote and directed the first movie, then wrote the second one, which was directed by John Poliquin. Now, apparently Ortiz was inspired by, amongst other things, The Tiger King for this one, as in that was very much a true crime series, which when you think about it, it really is. When you pull back, past the colourful characters and the more comedic elements, Tiger King is a crime series. But that and the rise in the true crime stuff itself, that saw Stuart Ortiz put together Strange Harvest. And man, is it something? Now we start things off, I should say, I mentioned 2010. Yeah, we start things off in 2010, where a home invasion leads to the brutal death of a family. Not just brutal, but meticulously planned out as well. Properly grim death, this as well. A properly grim death of a family unit, a husband and wife and their young son. And it's revealed that an ominous symbol is splattered on the ceiling. An ominous symbol not seen for 15 years. With that, the penny drops that Mr. Shiny, a serial killer who was last active back in 1995 and who promised to one day return, is apparently back in business. It's worth noting that this entire thing is told, as I kind of teased there in the intro, it's told in a documentary format with Peter Zizzo's Detective Joe Kirby and Terry Apple's Detective Lexi Taylor. They carry the bulk of the load here, talking us through Mr. Shiny's original killing spree and then the fresh batch that he carries out in 2010. Of course, by the time Mr. Shiny is resurfaced in 2010, there's been a lot more technological advancements, I guess we could put it, meaning we actually get to see footage of him, because you got to think back in 1995, you weren't really capturing people in terms of on video or whatnot. But here in 2010, there in 2010, we actually get to see footage of him, be that through CCTV footage, be that through body cam footage, or even through a makeup tutorial video one of his victims is recording, and you just kind of see him in the background. Grim, man. Added to that, there's plenty of crime scene photos and footage, meaning you get to see what Mr. Shiny's gotten up to, and yeah, it's intense is a word for it. It's very intense. To put it out there, Strange Harvest is an incredibly brutal movie at points, a very tough watch, not just for the violent acts we've seen the aftermath of, but for just how outright disturbing so much of this is. I mean, as well, added to that, there's an extra layer of disturbing to things for the fact that some of his victims are children, which always just adds that extra bit of ick and makes things all the more unsettling and sinister. And there's a doggo victim too, which again, not cool, man. Never ever cool. It's not cool when Michael Myers does it, and it's damn sure not cool when Mr. Shiny does it. And while the crime scene photos and footage, they are so messed up, they're also brilliantly done. There should be plenty of praise here for the makeup department, which looks like it was done by Josh Russell. The best thing to say about Strange Harvest in that regard is that it looks authentic. Not that I've ever seen dead bodies duct taped to chairs who've had their blood drained from their bodies, but you get the point. Everything just looks authentically disturbing and unsettling. Those words, again, I feel like I keep coming back to those. But there's something that can be said about the Strange Harvest as a whole. It's not just the crimes of Mr. Shiny that look authentic, but the whole film feels authentic. It feels like the most twisted of twisted true crime documentaries, with evidence shown, investigations discussed, experts called in, there's news reports, there's all the swanky graphics, all of it feels like the real deal. And also, Peter Zizzo and Terry Apple, they deserve plenty of praise too, as the two detectives who anchor so much of this. Never feeling like actors, if that makes sense. I mean, that's a compliment. That there is a slight awkwardness to certain parts, as in, it's like how real people act when they're featured in, those real crime documentaries we've all watched. there's certain lines that dialogue that maybe feel a little cheesy. Again, as you so often see in those things. And the editing also really helps with that too, punctuating certain lines of dialogue, setting up the next big twisted reveal revelation with just like that right cut before we switch to something grim. Usually something grim we switch to in this film. Also, shout out to Sarah DeCourcy, who does a phenomenal job with the score here, the musical score, which again just feels so authentic for a real true crime documentary. But then when I looked into it, Sarah also worked on the Women of Death Row TV series and the Ted Bundy Dialogue with the Devil miniseries. So yeah, she obviously has plenty of experience with this sort of stuff. Strange Harvest is just it's just a really, really smart movie, really nicely put together, playing partly like the most twisted slasher movie you've ever seen, partly a cult mystery, partly the Poughkeepsie tapes, Seven, or maybe Megan is Missing, and there's even a smidge of the Hitman video game series to one particular moment. I don't know if that's just me, but it's like, oh, that'd be kind of like a really cool, really messed up Hitman level. And all again, it's just done with such a sense of authenticity to it. Like if you told me somebody thought this was a real documentary after watching it, I think I'd believe you. But for the most part, I won't spoil how things eventually play out. But yeah, if somebody watched this unaware that it was a movie and they thought it was a real documentary afterwards, and they still thought that by the time the credits roll, I could buy that. I could buy that. Now, how to summarize Strange Harvest then? Well, just to say, if it's not been totally made clear already, this is a tough, intense watch at times in certain moments. Again, disturbing and unsettling. They are the two words of the day. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street today. I'm not going to start doing my count impression, but yes, the words of the day today are disturbing and unsettling. I was speaking to our own Ewan Patterson about the film yesterday, and he was asking me what it was like, and I told him that Strange Harvest is something... It's something you endure rather than enjoy, if that makes sense. I don't mean that in a negative way. For me, it is. It's one of the best horror movies I've seen this year in 2025. It absolutely will not be for everybody, but for me, it just feels kind of fresh when you look at how things are in the wider horror landscape right now. And I don't mean to say that the horror landscape is a bad one right now. I mean, we've had so much great stuff this year, the last couple of years. But Strange Harvest is just that it's a really unique beast. It feels fresh. It's something different. And that is never usually a bad thing. I mean, sometimes, yes, things are different just to be different and it doesn't work out. But this is different in a really, really clever way. So for a proper rating, a score, for me, I'm going a solid 8 out of... No, you know what? Possibly a 9 out of 10. I'm going to go a 9 out of 10 here. A 4.5 out of 5. A solid A minus, whatever. This is a film that I watched a couple of days ago now. It's a film that really has stuck with me. It absolutely left a mark on me. A disgusting, disturbing mark, but a mark nonetheless. And not just for, its twisted imagery and all the brutality and just some of the horrible stuff we see, but also not just that. It's more for how well it's all delivered as well, how well the movie's made. It just comes down to and again, to repeat some of the words again, authenticity. That is what shines through here. I had a memorable time with Strange Harvest. I don't know I don't know if I'd say it was a great happy sunshine and rainbows sort of time, but hey, without the rain you can't appreciate the rainbow, right? So before I go full Eric Draven and it can't rain all the time, Strange Harvest is available on digital download in the UK on October 27th, 29th of October in Australia, and I believe is now available already in the US. Be sure to check out our other recent reviews while you're here. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, the excellent Good Boy, oh Indy, what a good doggo. The Strangers Chapter 2, there's a review of that as well, and hell, the Conjuring Last Rites home release upon us now, so there's a review of that Final Conjuring chapter as well somewhere on the channel. But this has been What Culture Horror. I've been Andrew Pollard. Be well, stay safe, and I will catch you down the road.